Welcome, family, to the Dog Star Entertainment Weekly Podcast. Somebody got their, let me mute this. That's the Ish. I think it is. I ain't trying to hear that. Hold on. I'm still hearing the feedback from the YouTube. Hold on.
This is abominating. Oh, girl, I'm sure she'll do something later on. Suppose I'll get ready to do it, man.
There we go.
Oh, yeah. Just give me 1 minute.
All right, yeah. Welcome, family, to the Dog Star Entertainment Podcast. The daily topic is masonry. Somebody.
Uncle Bernie, pull my finger.
What?
Uncle Bernie, hurry, pull my finger.
Somebody got to mute their phone.
Yes, somebody got to mute.
Yo.
All right, I just muted him for now.
Hey, Grandmaster, as soon as you come on, you hear that doorbell ring, tell them to mute their phone if they just chimed in. That might save us trouble.
Right.
Okay.
All right, today's topic is masonry, the good, the bad, the ugly. And today our guest is Grandmaster Raymond Edwards, singer out of New Jersey. I'll let you introduce yourself and tell the people why you qualified to even have this conversation.
Well, I'm whoever just came in, please mute your phone as you came in. My name is Ray Edwards, Raymond R. Edwards Senior. Say it again.
Go ahead.
Okay, and I'm from the Most Worshipful King of Kings Grand Lodge in New Jersey. I've been knowing these brothers here for a minute. We've been friends through the good, the bad, and the ugly. And as we all know, we're still continuing. And when Son Rael, Grandmaster Ray Sean, as I call him, because that's who he is, told me the topic, the good, the bad, and the ugly, that first thing I said, well, damn, that's like the triple towel. It's one of them threes that just keep coming back and over and over and over and again. And it's like, in my Masonic experience, which started in 1989, and it's been the same consistently. There's always been a good, there's always been a bad, and always been an ugly, and not necessarily in that order. I was telling somebody, well, I put a video up in one of the groups, and the John G. Jones Uncut, and I said why I never joined Prince Hall. Well, when I was a kid, well, not a kid, but I was a young man working in construction. I had me a little new car, a little Mustang. I thought I was hot shit. So I had to pay for this car. So I had a part-time job at a gas station. So older man used to come in all the time and say, fill it up. And so one day I saw his emblem on the back of his car. And I said, man, I like to be a Mason. He said, well, you can't be no Prince Hall Mason pumping no gas. And I looked at him like, what? Like, that's how you treat other people? And my grandfather was the 33rd. My grandfather was a past grandmaster, but I never knew that. I just knew of other Masons in my family history, and I didn't know too much about it because my dad was never really in my life. So now when this dude told me this, I'm like, wow. So about 7-8 months later, I went and joined International because my man was DJing at a Mason bar on 12th Street in Newark. And one of the brothers asked me did I want to join. I said, yes, yeah. So I joined. So I see the same dude like 10 years later. Somebody tried to introduce me to him. I said, I know you. He said, you know me from where? I said, you the guy that told me that I could never be a Prince Hall Mason because I pumped gas. So from then on, my attitude was, to hell with them. I don't want to be a part of them. And some of my good friends are Prince Hall Masons. And we've never had a problem. I mean, when the brothers from from Ohio came to New Jersey, and Dre was in the crew, came here to get his shrine, we went to the Prince Hall Lodge outside when we did the creation. Ain't that right, Dre?
Yes, absolutely.
So there was never really any big issue with us in Prince Hall. It was just this one particular dude's attitude. And I met some of these other cats that all they want to talk about is the who's the first and who's the worst and all of that. Man, all of that shit is bullshit because half these jokers don't know nothing about Freemasonry. And that's where it's been coming to fruition that everybody knows that it's not about what you learn in these books. It's about how you practice in fellowship with other brothers. Like, we always had a good fellowship. Man, I used to go to Ohio on a regular, but I ain't in that Congress no more. And you know what? That's my fault for not going. That's my bad. You understand? Because every time we came there, we got treated with mad love, and it was real brotherhood. Whenever they came to New Jersey, it was real brotherhood. That's what we're missing because mute your phone, mute your phone, mute your phone.
I'll mute it.
There you go. So that's my man, Big Bear. So what happened is we've been losing contact with brothers based on our affiliations. And that's the problem. That's one of the good part is the affiliation. The bad part is the disconnection. And the ugly is how we interact after the fact. We don't mess with each other no more. Why not? Because of who we mess with on other levels. Like, I could say I've been to Ohio, I could been to Chicago, and certain individuals have been there. But it's certain people like certain people that have been to, you know, different situations and visited Grand Lodges, and now they don't mess with them no more because of who they deal with. I can't fight another man because you had a fight with him. I'm not gonna sit back here and argue with these so-called president generals and stuff like that, because all y'all care about is getting the free rooms, all this other stuff that goes along with being a president general. You know, trying to taste the old bras, trying to get your little old wee wet. That's what they do. That's all they care about. So I right now, with the Grand Lodges that I associate with, mess with who I mess with. They mess with me, I mess with them. That's how we do it. So, you know, and like I told, I had to reach out to a couple folks and say, hey man, we doing this thing because I'm trying to figure out a way to change things around in Masonry. You know, we just can't keep doing it the way we're doing it because it's guys out here that's actually handing out degrees because they say some dude overseas gave a piece of paper that makes them legitimate, but you never been overseas, you never worked these degrees. I mean, you got certain states out here, these dudes are saying they're 32nd degree Mason, but they went from 4 to 32 in one day. So how do you skip all them other houses that go from Lodge Perfection, Rose Croix, Kadash, Consistory? So how can you do all of that shit in one day and you don't know nothing about it?
Because they paying.
Hey, bro, I never met him. Who's that? Who the brother with the bald head? I never met him.
That's brother.
That ever walked on the face of the earth, baby.
Say it again.
I'm the finest Mason that ever walked on the face of the earth.
Hey, I ain't mad at you. You got a bald head. We got a lot of shit in common. You know, I ain't mad with you.
Nah, my name
nice
is,
to meet you, bro.
My name is Brother Bradley, Pash Washful. I can
nice to meet you, Pash.
Yeah. Sorry for my my tardiness, my lateness. I was stuck in traffic, had a bad traffic jam on.
Oh, that's all right. Approach the altar and give us the excuse and pay the fine. We'll be all right.
Got to pay the fine? I didn't mean it.
You know how they do it. You know how they do it. Everybody got to make $1.
Hey, okay. So I guess that's where we at in the conversation so far, huh?
It's all about the dollar.
It pretty much, it's always about the dollar. And that's why, you know, I started this group called the Grandmasters Alliance. And what it is a group of Grandmasters that we just agreeing to come together, support each other, and fellowship. And like say, if your Grand Lodge had a session going, we try to come visit, support you, educate, help, teach, and whatsoever. You know, these guys out here is like, you know, they just fleecing people for money. I remember, man, once when we was in that Congress, that whack-ass General Masonic Congress,
what Congress is that?
Hey,
that same fucking one y'all was in.
You can say it.
That one with them niggas from Chicago and all that.
Yeah, they did some flim flam on me when I was Grandmaster, so I know. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, you know, the whole situation was I'm like, wait, you see, I could say some real, I might as well, because I said I was gonna be open. How do you have jokers that are like cold faggots when it comes to dealing with men and dealing with women as your leadership? And I'm talking about like, bro, if you telling me that it's okay for a dude to mess around with 3 and 4 and 5 different sisters and you calling him a national leader, that's what y'all want to do. And then it's okay if you messing with the broad, but damn, at least tell her. Be straight up, say, hey, I got about 2 or 3 other. If your game is tight and she with you, she gonna be with you no matter what. But they don't have that in them, so they gotta lie to them. So now it's one dude down in Texas. Somebody said this nigga just had another baby outside his marriage.
And what part of Texas?
Houston. Hey, bro, listen. I'm not gonna say the nigga named Jarvis, but I'm just telling you. Oh, my no. But you know what though? Hey, Rashawn, you know for a fact that every single one of these niggas' name I put out there, I supported them and fuck with them before they ripped me off. Anybody's name I talk bad about, nigga, you done did something fucked up to me. And I can prove it.
How did they rip you off? Elaborate.
Okay.
Hold on, let me see my
Jarvis was claiming when Jarvis came around with the primitive right bullshit, right? Okay, bruh, we want to be a part of that. Okay, cool. Me and my man, he probably watching right now. His name's Alfonso Griffin.
I'm here.
Somebody got to mute their shit. So we go down there to deal with Jarvis. Okay. When we got the initiation, like 30 dudes came to New Jersey at my session to get it. So this crooked ass nigga named Joseph McFadden, him and another dude was around there busy trying to see who they collect the money from first. So I told all my guys, I said, no, don't give nobody no money. I'm going to send it to Jarvis. So I wires this nigga like $3,000. Okay. So now we supposed to be getting all this. I go down there to his session to see to learn what we supposed to be learning, all this stuff like that. And I'm like, this is when I found out the nigga was a total fuckboy. Because we went down there and it's like, oh, well, we gonna take you to the club where we hang out at. Like, okay. So we go to the club where we hang out at.
Where you go, Grant? Let's go. Let's get it. Right.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to it.
Just when he was getting good.
Right.
Somebody probably called his phone and booted him out of there.
Hello?
Yeah.
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Your camera went off.
Tell you the story.
You probably just
Hold
got
on,
hit.
I'm trying to figure this out.
Continue the story.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm gonna tell you this. So we gets down there and hold on. When we get down there, after the meeting and stuff, we go to this little club. I'm riding with the fuck boy nigga Rick Wells, right? So you know him, he done ripped off everybody in Masonry for money, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Like old buddy with the fences.
hold on, I'm trying to get back on the thing with the camera, man.
That's another dude. I'm pretty sure he's gonna get I'm pretty sure his name will come up soon.
Captain, I'm gonna make you a fence.
Grant, hit your camera at the bottom of the screen.
Ain't no camera at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, you gotta have a little. You probably hit it with something. It's a little camera. Probably got a red line through it. He must have went off. He probably gonna go off and try to come back in, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Hey,
Illustrious Griffin, how you doing tonight, brother? My kid?
Hey, yeah. Let everybody introduce yourselves. I'm past Grandmaster Rayshawn Davis, Cleveland, Ohio. Formerly of Enoch Grand Lodge,
Yo,
King David Grand Lodge, and Prince Hall, William T. Boyd, 79. We
Rayshawn.
Yeah, I still can't see you, but you back.
Wait, start video. There you go. Hold on. I'm back.
There you go.
I'm back.
You back?
I'm back
He
like
back.
brothers. So anyway, we get down to Texas. So that night, they gonna take us to the club where they hang out at. So we go to this spot called the Silver Eagle. So I'm riding with the nigga Rick Wells. We get there. So I see all these dudes from Texas standing outside waiting. I'm like, well, why are they waiting outside? I done been to the liquor store, got my little bottle and shit. I'm ready to go inside. They like, go get Dre, go get Dre. I'm like, go get Dre. Who the hell is Dre? So out popped this little nigga, light-skinned, little cool-ass nigga. Oh, what's up? It's Dre Jones. So he said, nah, they with me. So they let all of us in the club. I said, oh, this the nigga right here. I said, these other dudes, they clowns. So we in the club, and I'm like, I'm over in the corner by myself with my bottle of liquor, talking to me a couple chicks, having me a good time. Ain't nobody talking to these niggas. I'm like, wait a minute, this the club y'all hang out at, but don't nobody talk to y'all. So right then that raised the eyebrow to me. So I start looking at different things, and I start seeing, we all from the same different streets, no matter what country what city or state you come from, we all know bullshit when we see bullshit. So now I start asking questions about this primitive rights situations. So dude Jarvis is telling me, oh, you gonna have to be quiet, I'm gonna silence you. I'm like, you gonna do what? Like, you gonna silence me, nigga? What's wrong with you? I'm asking how you get your legitimacy, and you can't give me a good answer. And the more people I ask, the more people tell me that you're not what you're supposed to be. So the nigga suspends me by text message. Okay, fast forward. Boom. So now I'm messing with the dude Burris. I asked Burris about Jarvis. He said, well, I was told not to mess with you. I said, yeah, who told you that? He said, Jarvis. I said, what? I said, you telling me he a fake. He telling me you a fake. So I want to know what's going on. So I messed with Burris for about 2 or 3 years. Find out Burris is the same fucking fake, bro. And these is people I went to visit, spent my money to fly, brought brothers down there, trying to do the best we could possibly do to learn this actual primitive rights situation. Turn out, Burris do some old corny shit too. All of them, none of them niggas ever been nowhere. Like, I mean, for them to go to New Jersey, he came one day, like spent overnight type shit. So how you gonna be the national leader or something and you're not educating the people? It was crazy because so many people were entrapped by this dude. Like right now, all them clowns in New York, I'm a 95, I'm a 96, I'm a 97. Like, they have no clue what the primitive right is about because none of them are in legitimate primitive right sources. Like, I had to really start from day one when it came to dealing with this thing because there was so many people that was lying to us. Like, oh, you were 97, you were 98. Those are not degrees for everybody. Those are administrative degrees. That's when you're high at the top. So if you can't show me a picture of the man that consecrated you, how can you be such and such? Jarvis don't have a picture with nobody legitimate that consecrated him. So how are you telling these guys that they are what they are?
Easy, because the shit all made up anyway.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this, Dre. From what I know now, and the difference between what was taught then is a whole different ball game. Like it's so much more spiritual, so much more intellectual, so much of a greater understanding of the ancient and primitive rites. This is taught as Masonry prior to Anglo-Saxon intervention by a long shot. But people don't know it because they're only dealing with people that just want to get the money for degrees. And if you look at the situation that they're getting them, you tell me who's getting it. Burris he finished. Now the nigga Randy Gaines, he down with the GOIF shit. He ain't never been nobody but a fucking whistle master. but now all of a sudden he president of the organization, and he got the nigga Chris Jackson as a goddamn most prudent. That nigga ain't never been elected Winchell Master. How you the most prudent? Huh?
That's the guy with the feds, is right, Dre?
Yeah,
the one that beat you out for the feds. Yeah, him. See, they don't know all this. The stuff I be telling them, they think Ray be lying because I know what I'm talking about. He beat y'all for like 15 or 20 feds. Right?
Yeah, he got us with them bands. Bands to make it dance. We could have been at the club. We could have spent that
But I mean,
money.
and bro, this dude, however they did it, Randy was in Dre Grand Lodge. Whatever happened, he left. He been in like 4 or 5 different Grand Lodges as it is, and left. And now he the president of some GIOF shit. They run around here jacking niggas for money all over the country. All over the country, bro. Oh, you want to join us? It's $1,500, but we'll let you in for $1,150 right quick. Just send me that money. Like, nigga, for real?
Well, I mean, so what do you get for your money? Do that come with regalia and?
No, they just get that, and they charge them for that too.
So they paying the $1,500 and paying for books and regalia.
Yep.
Man, hell no. What do I look like? Give my money away?
Man.
See, I tell you what, a dude last night called me from California. Say it again, bro.
The $1,500 go towards what? Just to get your foot in the door?
Oh, that's for them getting a charter from their organization. Then the other fees come after that.
So how many times $100 to pay for the charter?
Oh, I wouldn't fuck with him, so I don't know.
I mean, I'm
just telling you what Jokers called me and tell me.
That's a whole lot of $1,500. That's a very expensive charter.
Bro, for a charter that ain't legitimate.
Wow.
Hey, look,
that's fair.
I'm watch this. Check this out. I'm a better black man than you because I got permission from a nigga in Italy. That's pretty much what they're saying. Because you got paperwork from Italy, that means that you're more legitimate. Since when did Masonry start in Italy?
Never.
So what gives you what validates what you're saying as far as you being a Mason? Like I told a joke, I said, well, I got a piece of paper that says you a slave. I'm not a slave. Yes, you are. This paper says you a slave. So that means that piece of paper makes you a Mason as well. Your Masonry comes from inside your heart.
That's where it started, that inner temple.
Right.
Bro, we used to have so much fun. I used to get in so much trouble with my girl.
I didn't hear.
I used to come out there, hang out, we have a good time, everybody fellowship, and everybody cool. Y'all come to Jersey, whatever. But now these dudes are so busy trying to be something that they not. Like, I mean, you could put a gorilla in a suit, or you could put a gorilla butt naked. But if he a gorilla, he gonna come out the jungle like a gorilla.
Hey, but I can remember.
So how do we stop this shit?
Hold up. I can remember before I even met you. And they used to be like, oh, Ray Edwards coming to town. Ray Edwards coming to town. And these dudes used to be so shook because they thought you was going to challenge them, or, you know, you was known for basically holding people accountable, especially for the regalia that they wear. So they used to always be on their pins and needles. That's why the first time I met you, that's why we came met you like we did. You know what I'm saying? I always let you know I ain't him. Them niggas might be scared, but I ain't him.
Nah, bro, we always had a good rapport because we always talk the truth. Bro, you know what it is? It's like we got Masons and we got brothers. They two different things. Like my man right there with the blue shirt on, that's Jamal Brown. That's my brother.
You know
no
what?
matter what happens, he's my brother. You understand? So now he's a Mason, but he happens to be my brother. So outside of lodge, he's gonna be my brother because of the way he carries himself and himself. And he in Virginia. Like, he ain't one of them type of dudes that's going to be jumping up and down and saying, I need this, I need that. Hey, bro, everything wait with patience is possible. These guys don't understand, man. They just don't understand Freemasonry. Like, it is a change. I'm an old school Mason, realistically, because I learned everything via the damn Masonic encyclopedia and buying books. These niggas now is just Google Masons.
Hey,
You want
Ray.
to know something about Masonry, you Google it.
Hey, Ray.
Yeah.
Check this out. You want to learn? I'm gonna tell you something about patience. Remember about 5 years ago, I sent a young fellow to go do primitive right? So it's no big deal. He went. Matter of fact, it was longer than 5 years ago. It might have been about 7 or 8 years ago. Sent the young brother over there, said, look, I can't do it because I'm working with the state. But you go ahead and go, and I'll be behind you. I chased behind Burris for almost 5 years. Almost 5 years, just to find out he was robbing motherfuckers left and right.
And you
And
from Virginia.
When I finally got my primitive right, you came down and you did it. Right? Now, the sad thing about it is that same dude wanted to speak to me because he's like, well, you could have, man, fuck you. I watch you rob people. One, I don't care about the notoriety because guess what? Masonry don't pay me, I pay it. You know, and a lot of people are looking at this as let me get my money. Like I told you, I gotta find it. I'm gonna go on my thumb drive tonight. It's a lecture I have. It's called Nigga Masonry, and that's what a lot of these motherfuckers are doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
Hey,
we more concerned about the titles.
If any of the brothers in the chat want to speak, let me just throw up the peace sign and I'll unmute you.
Okay.
Don't let Ish speak. Do not let Ishmael speak.
Hey,
Do not let.
Can we get an introduction from everybody? Because I came in, a few minutes late.
Trying to unmute Big Bear. I don't know what's going on.
Hey, I'm Big Bear. What's happening? What's happening?
You got to put him on the widescreen.
Good evening, brother. How's everyone doing? I just wanted to introduce myself, but I don't have anything to say. But whatever Ray was saying is so true because I was traveling with that man, and illustrious Griffin was with us also. So I concur to what he was saying.
All right, good to meet you, brother. Good to meet you. I think I muted let me unmute. I think I muted everybody.
I'm brother Raymond Edwards.
Hit the mute. Ray Sean, hit the mute. Hit the mute. Now, hit the mute. Don't let him go. There it is.
Here we go.
Oh, man, we don't let that nigga talk for nothing, Grandmaster. We don't let him talk.
Hey, man, everybody got a voice.
No, silent tongue, listening in, and shut his goddamn mouth. That's
one man, one man, one vote, one voice.
Well, he could vote, but we just don't want him to say shit. No, he a good dude, man. But see, this is what I'm talking about. The fellowship that we've always had is what Masonry is about. When you start thinking about back in the times when them guys, the real stone squares, were working in the quarry, they was clowning. They was taking each other's square and they trial hiding it, doing all kind of stuff that dudes do when you're working together. But they've taken away. Oh, who that?
I do.
Somebody rang the bell.
Abu Muhammad.
Oh, Grandmaster Abu Muhammad. Salam.
Grandmaster Abu Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
Pardon me.
So the thing is, like I said, like what we're trying to do right now, and this is the movement with this Grandmasters Alliance thing, we trying to get together what's not costing nobody no money, bro. Like the Grandmaster Alliance don't cost nothing to be a part of. All the Grandmaster got to do is say, hey, man, and then we're going to pick a date, try to go support that group. Like say, if somebody having a session, we're going to try to get as many people to go and support. And at that session, we want everybody to teach. And if you need people to lecture and show up, because man, I remember going to the Congress and it's like, these dudes was arguing over for like an hour in a meeting. How were you arguing for 20 hours? Bro, and what happened was the secretary deposited the money in the bank in the end of May. In the 1st of June, the treasurer didn't get the report. So they was arguing about $20 missing for a whole hour. And these guys waited 2 years to come to this meeting. So you waited 2 years to come to a meeting to hear these niggas argue about 20. I stood up, I said, yo, I will give y'all $20 so you can shut up. Like they acting like money is a big thing. I remember, man, when I used to be the chairman of the Grandmasters Committee in that Congress, right? So we used to have these functions. We had a function in Detroit. We made $5,000, paid the money to the Congress. And what happened, that punk ass John Gardner from Detroit, he never wanted to come.
That's my man. That's my man right there.
I don't care. I'm telling you the truth. I'm not gonna back up because you said it.
I'm just saying,
He didn't want the Congress to have no money. He wanted to control all the money. He's the main reason why everybody left that Congress, bro. He's the reason why man, but I'm telling you it's the truth. See?
He's the reason why we left.
He wanted to have control of, bro. I remember we went to Arkansas. We went all them different places. And Frederick T. Little said, make sure you help them dudes. This dude, when John Gardner got in place, he tried to put all these stipulations on who could get a consistory and who not, because he knew who wasn't going to vote for him. And I known him so long, when he first became the president of the Federation, me and my guys voted for him. Ain't that right there?
Who you talking about? Is he middle? When John
Gardner first became the president of the president of the Federation, we voted for him. He won by 8 votes, and 11 of us voted for him because they didn't know nobody.
That's true. I was there.
He's terrible, bro. Say what you want to say, and I'll tell him to his goddamn face. You selling degrees. You're doing the same shit these other people doing because you're trying to control votes. You purple suit wearing ass nigga.
Well, with that being said, has anybody had any good experience in masonry since they've been in the press?
Bro, let me tell you something. I'm gonna give you bro. I can show you videos of going to visit people, having a good time, fellowshipping, and guess what? If it hadn't have been for the individuals that were not per se in our Congress, I would have a total different outlook on masonry. I'd be like, man, fuck this shit. Because we've had groups that come, man, we all get together, hang out, have a good time, and party and laugh, learn, educate each other. It's different. Like, bro, these jokers are so corny with the way we ain't gonna have an election up here because if we have an election up here, somebody might lose. We gonna have this election in New York because so-and-so here and he might lose. That's how corny they are. Like, okay, peep this out. Y'all can give it this. Chicago has that scholarship every February, right?
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So now, why have they made it like that's an official Congress event? So you don't support nobody else's Grand Lodge around the country besides Chicago? Why ain't that event in Ohio? Why ain't that event in New Jersey? Why ain't that event somewhere else? Because y'all want to manipulate and control it? That's crazy.
I had the same argument years ago, but that shit rotates.
Want me to tell you some other fuckboy shit? Now, you know the nigga Otis from North Carolina, right?
I know who he is, but I don't know him.
Well, so this nigga got convicted or whatever for messing with a little girl that he was teaching. So now, check it out. This how fucked up these niggas is. His whole Grand Lodge left him, said they can't fuck with him because of the shit he did, right? Why did Anthony Pugh get this nigga membership in his Grand Lodge and the nigga is still the fucking secretary of the Congress, and he's still the president of the goddamn, that Slogia shit. And you fuck with a little girl, man.
People in glass houses can't throw stones. That's probably how Pugh looking at it.
Bro, but just like they talk about Chris Jackson. You know goddamn well he did that child molester shit.
I know a grandmaster that's been convicted of rape.
Damn.
And still the presiding grandmaster. Or maybe he'll pass now. I don't know what the case may be. And I gave it
That's why we get the rap that we get, because we're so busy trying to form these false alliances just to hold seats. If you steal money, you do something to kids, you're supposed to hold your people accountable, hold their ass to the fire. But you did ask about good times that we had, good experience we had in the craft.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you a good experience. About 3 years ago, I went to Jersey. Me and my lady went to Jersey for for his conclave, which was outstanding. For me, not even being in his jurisdiction, because I'm in Modern Free, so I met most of them I met in these groups on Facebook. I could tell a solid brother when I meet one, just by how they talk. You can't fast talk because I'm from the fast talking place in the world. I'm from New York, so you're not gonna pull too much shit over my eyes. But when I told Ray I was coming to Jersey, he said, you and your lady ain't got to worry about shit. From the time we stepped into that parking lot to the time we left, he made sure that we were good. And my thing is, even when I go visit, like, matter of fact, back in, I think it was October, they had something regular Grand Lodge of Virginia. A lot of the brothers were there. They were open arms. That's what masonry is about. I don't care what right you are. I don't care if you're 3-letter, 4-letter, 5-letter. It don't matter to me. But as long as you're doing the right thing and you know what you're talking about and have some common sense, like the men that's on this phone right now, I can deal with you. But the minute I see that you shady, well, first I'm gonna call you on it, and then I'm gonna hold your ass to the fire. If you decide not to do nothing, then I have to let you go. You see, because I look at all these people that come up with stuff and they want to, let's do this and let's do that. Like, I know Abu Muhammad, he just got on. He's from my hometown. I met him at Ray's Conclave. You know, and it was funny is that day he said, "Hey, do you know brother so and so?" Yeah, I know him. Come to find out, dude tried to do some old off the wall sneaky shit, and it's just two good men was sitting there talking, and we exposed the person.
Oh, you know? Damn, I know you're talking about. He ain't that bad, but he ain't that.
You know, no, he's not that bad. But what it is that goes back to being patient. You know,
you never know who you're talking to.
Right, and when you're not a patient person, all that shit seems to unfold so fast, and then you get screwed. Because if you're doing masonry right and you're doing the things that you're supposed to do, you ain't gonna have to worry about it. Everything gonna come to you in due time. Like, I'm so glad I didn't rush to go do primitive right when the young brother went, because I probably would have killed that dude. You took my money. Don't mess with my money. Don't mess with my family. Because if you mess with my money, then you mess with my family.
I want to chime in right quick, if y'all can hear me.
Yeah, we hear you, brother.
PGM, Jamal, said brother actually apologized to me.
Did.
In the presence of, I don't know if Grandmaster Ray or Grandmaster Habe heard his apology, but he did apologize. You know,
I did.
You know.
And you know, I will tell you, what he did is actually we sat down and we talked, and he just was like, and then finally like a year later, he said, "You know what? I'm sorry." I was like, "What are you sorry for?" He said, "You always tell me to slow down and be patient." He said, "But I didn't realize you knew so many people." I said, "It's not about who I know." I said, "When you travel, that's what you travel so you can meet foreign lands, go to different jurisdictions, so that you can sit amongst people just like yourself." And when he apologized, that was the first time I knew it was sincere. He's like, "You know, I put a lot of people." I said, "Yeah, you could have caused some friction, but you know, he's changed a whole lot since then. He's learned to be patient." And he's like, I don't need to rush, because I said, only thing you want is titles. Titles it don't make no sense to have a title. You're not gonna put the work in. Being the Grandmaster ain't easy. Just like most of the guys on this phone, you're Grandmasters, or you're definitely been worship masters. It ain't easy. It ain't easy, because guess what? People look for you for everything: the good, the bad, the indifferent, the ugly. And everything. If you smoke screening your people, once that smoke screen go away, it's hell to pay.
But you know that story you just shared, brother. That's a great example of a rough action. You know, we all are rough on the edges, definitely when we come in, and we make some mistakes along our travels. And it's all about, you know, perfecting that stuff. And if a brother that can come up to you, or you know, whoever it may be, and truthfully apologize to you, you know, give a heartfelt apology, then you know that's a brother that's built. He's building. He's working on building himself. And like Pastor Edwards alluded to earlier, it's a spiritual thing, and that just alludes to your journey. Because my journey in masonry don't have anything to do about, you know, any other people, because it's only one person I got to answer to in the end. There's only one that can pay me my Masonic wage.
Yeah, but
hold on, bro. Hold on.
Brothers,
go
can
ahead.
y'all mute y'all phones, brother? I hear everybody eating or doing something back there. Y'all, everybody mute their phones so you can hear somebody speak. Because I'm hearing rattling and snoring and all this other stuff.
Or I just mute everybody, and then when y'all want to speak, y'all gonna throw up the deuces, or y'all can mute yourself when you want to speak. You can.
There you go. You know, hey, you want to know something, Grandmaster Rayshawn?
What's happening?
You know the guy, I met a brother, his name is Suleiman El Bey from Chicago. I known him when he was with St. John. I don't remember us meeting. He clearly knows because the conversation we had had been in depth. He said, Ray, you know why I didn't fuck with you? And I said, why? He said that you be running around trying to screw other people's wives. I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, I'm telling you, that's what they told us. They said, you. He said, Otis and Pew, they said you be trying to screw other people's wives. And you know my right-handed God, I ain't never messed with nobody's wife, bro. I don't even mess with sisters like that because they too messy.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, if that's the extent you will go to slander another man that you call Mason, that's why, you know what? Just like, you know, somebody don't know, like Dre Jones is my man. He's my friend for real.
Hey, you just muted yourself.
When the event went on,
there you go.
Once I left, I got on my flight, they start all getting in a Facebook group talking shit about me. He said, yo, he was right there with y'all. Why didn't y'all say something to while he was there? You understand? Certain jokers got charisma. Certain jokers got character. Them niggas is faggots, bro. That's why I said Chris Jackson talk all this shit on his videos. You could talk it on your video, but nigga, I never blocked you, and I'm not afraid to have a confrontation with you. Randy Gaines stopped talking to me because I told him Chris Jackson was a child molester. Okay, Randy Gaines. The nigga is a child molester. That shit is documented. It ain't me saying it. People done sent me. I sent the brother the information. He said, no, I'm going to have my people check it out. He came back to me, oh, you was 100% right. I said, wow. So now you doing all this foul shit and you deceiving people. Nigga, I make money every day. Big Dre, you ever see me, bro?
I got to unmute him.
Guess what? Oh.
He unmuted now.
I ain't never seen me fucked up. I've been all good every time.
Nigga, we ain't never been to the point where people is, you run around, you breaking a G code, you talking about another man messing with another man's wife. That's faggotry, bro.
Dude, the slander has been real. I've been a crackhead, a woman beater, all kind of shit. Let these dudes tell it, man. You know what I mean? So I definitely understand, but and that comes to the point right now is like what is the purpose of what we doing or what we used to do as far as masonry? Like what is the point? What's the end game? I really don't see Masons affecting their communities like they should. You know, the way I feel like wherever your lodge is situated, that's where the councilman should be coming out of. You know, we need to be setting people up and running them for a political position, political office, putting them in places to make change. You know, it's cool. We do a little outreach, a little fundraising, a little charity every now and then. But the bulk is like, somebody got to mute their phone. Like, what's the end game? You know what I'm saying? Like, how we're not controlling the community politically, you know what I'm saying, or economically, you know what I'm saying? And so I really don't, me personally, I stepped away from masonry altogether for a while because I didn't see the end game. You know, to me, it became a pyramid scheme. You know what I'm saying? It became a bad investment. You know, I was putting all this in, money, intellectual property, time, and was getting nothing in return but backstabbing, ridicule. It wasn't worth it. So a lot of good brothers have left masonry because bad brothers have pushed them away.
Wow.
You asked a great question, brother. You know, what's the end game? I don't see it as an end game. I see it as the now game. So what are you moving into doing now? I mean, as of what's the end game? I don't see it as an end game. I see it as the now game. So I'm getting reverb.
Mute phones.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I'm getting a reverb on
We
this.
good. I muted it.
Okay, so I see it as the now game. So recently, about maybe a month ago, Grandmaster Ray just introduced a Grandmasters Alliance. Okay, there is no government, so to speak. There is no money collected. Just grandmasters coming together. And what I'm looking for it to be is putting our heads together and create a pristine, pure masonry as it was originally meant to be. This is how I see it. Because we all got war stories. I got stories from Enoch and Sons of Haiti and Mount Ephraim and all of them. We all got crooked, shiesty, deceitful, deceptive brothers, whether they're sitting on seat or not. So I see it as the now game. The now game is, well, what are we going to do now? We hear all the war stories. What are we going to do now? What do y'all want to do as Masons? I know what other people have done. They built concrete monuments. What have we done?
That's a true story.
Hey, yeah.
The amazing part is, that's why I said Grandmaster Ray Sean, I'm always going to refer to that because that's you, my friend. And when you was Grandmaster, we was friends, right?
Exactly.
You never lose that title. Pass or not. You're always going to be a Grandmaster. You're past Grandmaster, the ones in your jurisdiction. But when it comes down to what we're trying to do, like the only thing I have right now, I've got the ancient free Morse right where I'm the national Grandmaster. Nobody can get in it unless I say so. So now, not like I'm trying to keep people out, but I'm not trying to let certain motherfuckers.
I've been waiting on that paperwork for about 2-3 years, bro.
No.
Go ahead, man.
Hey, it's a little more than paperwork.
I mean,
I'm saying, the Constitution number. I will. You say, Ray, I got 9 guys and I'm on my way to Ohio. It's that simple.
I had that. And you put me on.
Oh, stop the bullshit, Ray.
Brother, hold on. Let me unmute my brother Aki and my brother Doge.
Oh yes, we had the whole. In fact, we had Mosby had the whole little logo. We got a whole group on Facebook waiting for the Morris right.
We created a whole logo and everything for our shit.
Okay, look, Ray Sean. We offline.
About to get our triangle. We was about to get our triangle aprons and all that. We was ready.
Hey, he said triangle apron everything.
hey, we wasn't. Hey, man.
No, you said it. Listen, bro. We about to get it. I'm on my way. That's all we got to do. See, and that's like I said with if Ray Sean, let me just put that
again. Before we change gears again, brother Ray, Grandmaster Edwards. I don't know if you remember the first time we ever met this brother Dozier.
You ain't have all that hair on your face back then.
I ain't have none of this. You're right. I had to clean that. I just became worshipful master.
You had the punk mouth.
And we was at a potentate ball. And so, mind you, I've heard all the war stories about you. This is the first time I ever met you. At that time, now Grandmaster Ray Sean pulled me in the hallway where you was at wearing this shiny suit. And so, Ray Sean said, try him. And boy, we went up and down the ladder for a minute. And then you decided to take it to a whole other house. Ray Sean put the clamps on it because he knew that was the cheat code. He knew I wasn't there yet. But those are the good times I say about masonry, because I know we about to switch gears. So I just wanted to bring that in there because my coming through Benjamin, I had to make sure, my people made sure, my elders made sure, those that raised me made sure I was sharp in this book. And they know I love to be challenged because I played football. So when football was over, I needed that to keep my edge sharp, you know what I mean? So coming through masonry made me do that, made me elevate my whole game as far as my vernacular, speaking, you know, coming with that same passion and energy I took with football to masonry. So I don't want to say that was like one of the feathers in my hat, but holding my own on yo, beating you on the first time is one of my fondest moments of masonry.
Hey, if let me tell you something like that, bro. I wish I could get some of the younger brothers to be the same way. It's about being tried, bro. There's nothing wrong with being tried.
A lot of them,
You know how you ever seen a father dog and a puppy dog playing? When that little nigga keep biting him on the ears and pulling him and pulling him and pulling him, he get tired. That's when you slap the shit out of him. And that's how the same thing works. Like I got a dude on the phone right now, Ishmael. Ish is a pain in the ass, but I love him because he's a pain in the ass. If that makes sense.
I love you too, Grant.
Ain't nobody tell you to say shit.
you know what?
I mean, you got to look at this. We got
a lot of the brothers in masonry, they scared to get tried or scared to wear their light or whatever because they scared they gonna get tried. But I think a lot of that scaredness falls on the responsibility of the whoever's in charge of teaching them their stuff, whether it's first, second, or third degree, whether it's the worshipful master, senior warden, or whoever that charge is given to. There, a lot of times they themselves are not on expert when they come to their own Masonic knowledge. So if they ain't got it, how they gonna pass it down?
No, me and Juice used to confiscate paraphernalia. I used to have a trunk full of nice Templar hats, Masonic rings. I used to take it. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, not take it physically, but you had to surrender it. If you couldn't, man, you got this fancy shirt.
That's the way the game goes.
You done paid $110 for it, and you can't tell me nothing about what's on your shirt. And then your favorite excuse is, this is not the time or place. Well, you should have had your shirt on. Wherever you put that shirt on is the time or place, because it's another man's obligation to make sure you're supposed to be wearing it. So wherever you put it on is the time and place. Don't invite the conversation. Don't wear it.
Right. Well, apparently they didn't reread their initiation when they first got it. Because you know what it says. You know, tried what?
Tried, never denied, and willing to be tried again.
Exactly. So apparently, so apparently in the first, either they didn't reread it, they just collected the money and gave them the degree, and that was it.
And then some just read it maybe more than once, but they didn't study the obligation.
Right. There you go.
And I will remain being a fan of a lot of the BS that's going on inside the craft now. If you just fall or lean on your first degree obligation, that would take a lot of this BS out of the way. Just the first. You ain't got to the second, third, the fourth, the fifth, or your right, Scottish right side. If you just hold on to that first degree obligation, half of the BS wouldn't be non-existent. But if you just read it for the sake of reading it, whenever you have a initiation, you haven't even tried to commit it to memory, and let alone study the obligation, what this word means, look up this definition, how is it being applied, so forth and so on, and then just brainstorm on it, meditate on it. Okay, how do I apply this obligation to me? Because to me, it means something when Grandmaster Ray Davis called me on the phone, yo, IT, you down in Atlanta. My daughter down there, something came up, they need some money. BM and daughter need some money. Bruh, where they at? Tell them to send me the address. I met them where they was. This is what y'all need. Boom, enough said. It's a wrap. And a lot of it was part of my obligation, but a lot of it was because he and I grew up together also. You know what I'm saying? But when you know that obligation and study that obligation, then it's a whole different ball game when you take it to heart. And some brothers, they just get into this crowd, into this organization, and call it a club, or treat it like a club, because their game is one when they was in junior high and high school.
Hey,
they didn't, girls
Brother Aki,
Yes, sir.
Can I say something to you? The difference between an obligation in the ancient free Moorish rite and regular traditional masonry is, and you say, what makes me a Mason? It means living up to my obligation, right?
Okay.
When it comes to the ancient free Moorish rite, it says fulfilling my obligation.
They're taking it too far.
Hey.
That's a whole two different things.
I go to about Norfolk.
You're right. You're right.
Somebody got their wife on the phone. Mute your phone.
Hey, I see brother Fuller, past week Supermaster Fuller in the building. What's happening, baby?
How you feeling, bro?
I'm good, man. I see you in the shadows over there. How you doing?
Soaking it up, under this isolation. I've been a little bit mentally stirred.
Okay.
Enjoying the edification. Good to see all you brothers.
All right. Good to have you, brother. Good to have you. But
Brother Fuller, what's going on, B?
What's going on, Brother Bradley?
Man,
so you got that snow growing?
I'm trying to let it do what it's gonna do. I'm trying to see what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying.
Hey, but going back to what the last comment Keith made was, I've come to the conclusion a lot of these brothers, when they come into masonry, it's an opportunity for them to be somebody they couldn't be maybe in their own home, a leader or that guy. So they create masonry. They create like a bubble environment, an artificial environment where they're the king. And that's why those elections go the way they go. That's why the people don't really want to relinquish seats, because they're fulfilling something within themselves. Like you said, they couldn't fulfill in high school, they couldn't fulfill in college or in their own home, in their relationship, in their marriage. But they can come to masonry and they can find a position of leadership, somewhat of authority. And I think a lot of them are addicted to that. They don't want to let it go. I met a lot of brothers that I've known for over 10 years and never met one friend of theirs that was not a Mason. That's odd to me. Everybody I see you be around as a Mason, that's a problem to me.
Yeah.
I met a lot of brothers that I've known for. Who's speaking? Who's that?
Well, sometimes the problem is, it's like a guy said to me, you think you all this and all of that. I said, no, I don't think that. You think that because you're not used to what I do. And, some people do things like say all this and all of that. I said, no, I don't think that. You think that because you're not used to what I do.
Hey, somebody got their YouTube playing. That's where that feedback coming from. You got
somebody recording that shit for Jarvis.
I ain't monitoring the YouTube live, so if somebody is looking at the YouTube live, you can see if any comments down there. You can see who's looking. So if you on YouTube live and you see the chat, then you can see who's in there. I'm not monitoring it, so I can't see it.
Hey,
if you want to talk and you muted, just put up the deuces.
So we can challenge each other's intellect without challenge each other's manhood. And that's the biggest problem we have, is like when a guy don't know something, he thinks somebody's challenging his manhood. No, bro, you said I'd often be tried, never denied, willing to be tried again. So when do you want to be tried? When it's convenient for you? Trying doesn't mean answering a Masonic question. Trying means, like the brother Keith said, hey bro, my daughter's in trouble. She needs help. You trying that man to help you.
Hey man, I had a shirt on the back of it that said "Try me." That's the only Masonic shirt I ever owned in my Masonic career. I own one Shrine shirt and one Blue House shirt, and on the back of it said "Try me." Other than that, I didn't buy any Masonic paraphernalia because I knew that we wasn't reaping the benefits of that. I never got a license plate because that's going to some white Masons that I'll never ever meet. So.
Then plus, a lot of brothers didn't try you because they knew what you was about. They knew you was on your square. You know, when you walk into the spot, when you walk into the bar, they split like the Red Sea. So.
Yeah, I was the corona of the lodge.
Nah, son, you might have been the corona. I was the Black Plague. Definitely seen the Black Plague came in, man.
Hey man, my whole object was to make brothers Masons. That was it. That was my whole object. For you to walk in a room, I don't care if you're in there with Prince Hall Masons, because these brothers used to cower in front of Prince Hall Masons.
Yeah.
I was like, man, we going to Prince Hall's potentate breakfast. I ain't going. Nah, I'm cool. No. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I'll be right up in there. You know what I'm saying? But nobody intimidate me, man. I'm a man like you a man. You know what I'm saying? I read books like you read books. Prince Hall never impressed me because they always been gatekeepers for the white folk. All through their history, they've been gatekeepers for the white folk.
But back to what the brother said about being tried, a lot of people did challenge their manhood because it was their responsibility to know that knowledge and they didn't know it. So now it's like, what's wrong with you? You had a problem learning, you can't read. And if that's the case, let's address that. But so I do believe that do challenge their manhood.
That's how you lose a grandmaster seat. You can't hold
this cat, man.
You can't hold people accountable and keep that seat.
Yeah.
You can't hold people accountable and keep that seat. Yeah, somebody's YouTube. But any other brothers that's muted want to speak, man, just throw up the deuces and I'll unmute you. You go ahead.
So, question. So do any of the brothers that's online think that we can that or feel that masonry is going in a positive direction? To which where there'll be brothers like the brothers here on this podcast this evening.
You know, I applaud you brothers for even having a podcast and having the openness, because see, you know, we're so stuck on pomp and circumstance. Like they say, Ray, you shouldn't be saying this because you're a grandmaster. I can say what I want to do because I am a grandmaster. Because you ain't shit you can do to me. But when you have somebody in a situation, let's just say if it was one of my members, bro, as long as you're right, I don't care what you say, as long as you ain't disrespectful to nobody as a person that has not disrespected you. Anybody I speak ill about, they disrespect me, nigga, I'll meet you anywhere you want to meet. We could talk about it, we could rock about it. It don't mean no different, no way, no fashion. It's just all the same. But I've never done anything wrong to anybody before they did something wrong to me.
Well, you're supposed
and that's
to
the God's honest truth.
You're supposed to, first of all, as a grandmaster, you're always supposed to speak about it because you're supposed to give good and wholesome instruction. So what comes out of a brother's mouth as a grandmaster is supposed to be a guidance for the craft. And that's the issue. The issue is that, number one, the craft is so busy doing other than what they're supposed to do, they don't hear nothing. They don't hear nothing. They don't read. You ask the brother, what are the 7 liberal arts, and how many of them do you know as an actual practice? Do you know logic? How's your grammar game? You know, I mean, how's your grammar game? Can you dot your I's and cross your T's? Remember your apostrophes? I mean, that is one of the 7 liberal arts. So again, it's about, to answer brother's question, it's like, I see it as going in the right direction. That depends on who got the gavel and where they're going with it, what they're doing with it, what they're doing with their body, their craft, and their associations, their affiliations. What do they bring to the table?
You're actually correct, because I came into a Grand Lodge that had no written bylaws, no written constitution, no mode of voting. The Grand Lodge did not have a bank account. The treasurer was taking the money home in an envelope. Dude, this is the situation I walked in. That's why I say I walked into Masonry coming looking for that teaching. I was coming to learn, you know, looking for that advanced intellect. And I became the advanced intellect within the year that I was in there. because I refused to pay dues. I refused my lodge. I told them not to pay no dues until you show me a bank account. Yeah, I can, and see, I knew this type of thing because I came from a college fraternity. So a lot of brothers, this ain't no college fraternity. This ain't no college, this is masonry. And I was just, you right, this is not, because we was way more organized than you guys. You guys don't know parliamentary procedure, never heard of it. Never, you don't even know how to operate a meeting correctly. You don't know that the money go to the secretary before it go to the treasurer.
Right.
I mean, and you wonder why money is getting stolen and the treasurer don't want to get a bank account. And then hold up. Now I'm gonna tell you right there. At one grand meeting, that secretary was pulled to the table about that money. And what he did was stood up and resigned before it came on the table. But then that same guy that resigned from that secretary seat ran for Grand Master and became Grand Master. So, I mean, you can even do that. You can even do that. It's not even legal for you to once you step down from an elected position, you can't even hold another elected position.
Exactly. Right.
Once you step down from elected position, you're done as far as elected position in the lodge. You step down from the secretary position, and then you became the Grand Master for 2 terms.
Supposed to live as an elected position. You're supposed to live your term out. There's no stepping down.
Yeah.
Hey, that's when I come in trying to correct this, I created the bylaws and the Constitution for the lodge. I went out and got the correct vote of voting for voting for the lodge. I put all those things in place, and that's the foundation that they have now. But it took a fucking inner apprentice to come in and do that. Wasn't even a master mason.
So, question to or unless anybody else want to comment on that. Question for anyone coming into the craft as an inner apprentice, and now as whatever degree that you may have. Did masonry turn out? Did it meet your expectations when you first came into the order? I say for myself, right now at this moment, it's not for myself personally.
Can you state the question again, sir?
When you now that you have the degree that you may have, whether it's Master Mason, 32nd, 33rd, whatever that degree may be, does masonry balance out to what your initial thought was when you first came into the order?
For me, masonry,
No.
yes. For me, Negroes, no.
Right.
This is Jamal Brown. I would have to say it has balanced out because I've met a lot of good people. Strangers that became friends, that became family. And I've told Ray this several times. Every Mason you meet ain't gonna always have your best interest at heart.
That's right.
But when you find those that have the same interest, y'all build. Like I was listening. You said is crazy how people have friends and only thing they have are friends that are Masons. See, I have different pools of people that I associate with.
Right.
So just because I can have 20 guys sitting there with me, they all my friends, and all of them are not Masons. Yeah. Because I learned different things from different organizations that can help build what I have. It's real cool when I can just roll up the road and be like, hey, yo, Ray, I'm pulling in the, matter of fact, I give you an example. One of my good friends, she a sister, her vehicle broke down in Jersey. I called Ray. Ray was like, yo, I got her. When she got back to Virginia, all she said was, I didn't know you had pull like that. I just thought you and him were friends. I said, I told you that was my brother. So if you're in trouble and I call him, guess what? He gonna make sure that you're good.
Yeah.
And so,
hey, Jamal Brown.
Yo.
She better not break down again. I ain't got no girl now.
But it has met my expectation because my first worship master, Tony Allen, said, you get out of this what you put in. So if you don't put in work and you don't travel and you don't do different things, guess what? That's what you're going to get out of it. If you surround yourself with suckers, that's what you're going to get. If you surround yourself with leeches, that's what you're going to get. The first thing I purchased when I became a Master Mason was a bunch of books.
Right.
I didn't even have light on my vehicle. I went out to sea because I was in the Navy at the time. When I came back, before I left to go out to sea for 90 days, I did my proficiency test. I smoked it, but I didn't think nothing of it. I left, went out to sea for 90 days, came back. My worship master went and put my first piece of light on my vehicle. And then, I was the hungry dude. I wanted to show what I had. I grew up in a light snatcher era. Like you said, if you had something on, I didn't care if you tried me because I was always ready. My guard I'm always ready. So it didn't matter. So there was an older brother, his name was R&B Bricker. If you ever came to Virginia before he passed away, every brother went to his store to get stuff. I used to go to Brother Bricker's store to clean up, and I had all my emblems across the back of my car. He goes, "Hey, young blood." I'm like, "What's going on, Brother Bricker?" He said, "So what makes you a Mason?" And I told him. He said, "So why you got all that shit on the back of your car? That don't mean nothing." Because don't nobody know what it means but another brother.
Hot dog. Yo, somebody else told me the same thing.
So from that day,
somebody told me the same thing.
I scraped all my emblems off my vehicle. And he said, "You find something that signifies you." So the day when I got my invitation, "Hey, you've been selected to become a 33rd," that's when I switched and I changed my tags. My tags have been the same for the last 7 years. Other than that, I rarely wear anything. I get a whole lot of stuff. I get jackets, I get hats, I get all this stuff, but I rarely wear it. Because once you have achieved certain things, you don't have to brag about it no more. I might wear a ring every now and again, but when you walk and people hear you talk, and when you walk into the room, they could tell that this guy's not like everybody else. What is it?
Yeah, something.
Most people, when they grandmasters,
you want
they
me
don't
to,
say
want me
they
to share
grandmasters.
some with y'all? Okay.
You're gonna cut the brother off, man. Go ahead.
Man, most of us that are grandmasters, we don't tell nobody we grandmasters. You know who tell us? Everybody else tell it. If you're a damn good grandmaster, you'll never have to say I'm the grandmaster.
Yeah.
Because your people will love you enough to say it for you.
But most of the time when they said it for me is because they was running from a damn challenge. Well, go talk to my grandmaster. My grandmaster over there. I was like, man, quit telling
I'm the grandmaster. I heard that every meeting. I'm the grandmaster.
Right.
But I'll say for myself right now, like doesn't balance out. It's not balancing out.
You know what? I'm gonna tell y'all a true story. When it came to me that Rayshawn was running for Grandmaster, right? I said, "Well, how are you gonna win?" They said, "Because he got a whole bunch of young guys running behind him." I said, "Well, what the bylaws say?" Nothing. So if your bylaws state that every man can vote, that's what it is, right?
Yeah, but see, my bylaws didn't. I had to get the bylaws established for them. Each lodge had 3 votes.
No.
We had them.
At the time, I was told you had a whole bunch of young dudes behind you. And so no matter what happened, if that's what the bylaws state, that's what happens. Just like with Pew and that shit, the reason why St. John's got divided was because Pew was letting people that were honorary Wisham Masters vote on the Grand Lodge election. They never sat in the chair. And as God is my judge, I told him, I said, "Bro, that's wrong. How are you going to tell somebody they can vote and they've never been honorary Wisham? I mean, they've never been elected Wisham Master." Well, it didn't happen in my time. It was before my time. That's wrong. No matter what happens, sometimes you just got to take the hit and make it right.
Right.
And that's the problem they got. They won't make it right. Like right now, when I'm telling you, like with this Grandmasters Alliance thing, right? Their Grand Lodges from AF and AM, Modern Free, the UMA, just basic other unaffiliated Grand Lodges, all agreeing to work together and say, "Hey man, we can do this thing the right way. Nobody get no money." Now, if I have a session and all the people, like I'm having the East Coast Masonic Summit in March. So I had a session, everybody coming, but ain't no fee other than the fact that, okay, if you want to come to the banquet, this is what it's going to cost you for the banquet ticket. Ain't no registration fee. Come on, man, stop trying to make money off of people to teach a craft that's ours.
And they ain't teaching.
That's why I only mess with Tal Bryant. Tal Bryant Depier is one of the most powerful Masons in the world, bro. And I'm his right hand when it comes to the United States because we're teaching it the right way. We're not teaching no fuckboy shit. And he's like, you know, you haven't seen me go ham on people on Facebook in a long time. Because he said, no, we don't need to do that. We got all that. Abu Muhammad is right there. He knows the energy that this man has. The same thing with the ancient free Moorish right. Brother Alim, you are Hazel Bey's right hand. So this has all been generated down. I can't do nothing about the Scottish right. I can't do nothing about the York right because that was before my time. But I know I can be instrumental in making sure that this fence is kept high. A guy called me last night talking about, yeah, well, I'm brother so-and-so from California. And I came and got my degrees with Eric Tillman. I said, okay, so what's happening, bro? He said, well, I paid for my degrees and I never got nothing. I said, what degree did you pay for? He said, I paid for my first 3 degrees in the Asiatic. And I said, well, there's no 3 degrees in Asiatic. There's 1 degree in Asiatic. So you're lying, you didn't pay for all 3. So now if you want them degrees, you go see Tillman to get you them degrees. But you're not going to get a piece of paper from here saying you're something that doesn't mean anything. A piece of paper don't make nothing. And Jamal can tell you, we've been friends for 3 years trying to get this thing on track. And guess what? How hard is it? How many changes have we had to make? Well, what difference? Ain't nobody quitting. Only fucking punks quit. He wanted a paper that says he's a 90th degree. I said, you're a 90th degree? He said, yeah. I said, tell me something about the 90th degree. Well, brother, I ain't learned nothing. I just got, well, you go see Tillman and tell Tillman to give you your paperwork because I'm not giving you shit. Wow, bro. You can say what you want. And I'm going to send him a text message tonight. If you want something that says you want a paper that says you 97 degrees, send me a text. I need a paper that says and I'm going to send him a piece of paper written in a crayon and say, Brother Trayvon Martin is a motherfucking 90th degree. That's it. Because some of this means something to some of us. I'm not going to be dragging myself around the country trying to learn these different things and teach this stuff and then give it to some fuckboy. I'm not doing that. When you say, oh, I'm a nice Templar, what does that mean? That means you were a priest first and a warrior second. Some people can't fathom that.
So
yeah, because you got it. Exactly, spirituality, but now you got to defend what you believe. You have to defend this crap. Priest first, you're esoteric. Now you got to defend this. You stand up and say them prayers. You got to defend this on the for real side.
all right. So let me ask y'all.
When you start,
go ahead. Edward.
No, when you look at the Knights Templar, right? When did they start wearing these uniforms with the black buttons and the big ass chapeaus? That was all that Confederate shit from Albert Pike.
Exactly.
That ain't Masonry. That's Albert Pike.
But see, hold up. Now you see this is what I was going to say before I let you go. Should we still be following the bylaws and constitutions? Landmarks. The whole European setup of masonry. Or should we develop our own? And should we practice our own? Even with the ritual work. I mean, everybody buying these books from the white boy. We all getting look to the east, and I mean, those are not our books. Those are not our books that we're writing. We don't profit from those books. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say Masonry to me became a pyramid scheme. You know what I'm saying? Like, when do we start writing our own books and putting our own rituals into play?
Hey, Grandmaster Ray Sean, most worshipful King of Kings don't use the lessons, bro. We don't use it done because we got our own ritual.
Okay.
Just like when it comes to the creating the Supreme Council, everything falls under the sovereign sanctuary. Everything falls under the esoteric side. Like these guys are saying, let me ask you a question. These guys say, oh, I'm a 43rd, I'm a 90th, and I'm a 95th. How the fuck can you be a 43rd if you ain't never been a 33rd? Those degrees exist. It's not something that doesn't exist. So guess what? Maybe we were taught wrong, but right now we in the process of fixing that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, because I always say that, like, and if you do get something, would you consider publishing it? You know what I'm saying? And putting it in print.
No.
But see,
no.
Well, why not?
No. Because guess what? It ain't for everybody.
I don't think you should publish.
It's for those that. If you publish something, that means it's going to get watered down. Somebody's going to make copies of it. They're going to take it to their job and video copy and fax and all that shit. No, that's not going to happen. The information is masonry is meant to be told mouth to ear, bro.
Okay, but there's still publication. There's still books. We understand mouth to ear, but you just admitted that you had a publication, so there's something that's written. Is what I'm saying.
Hey, Grandmaster Rayshawn.
What I'm saying is,
do you want?
Hold up. What I'm saying is, I don't always think about today, right? I think about 50 years down the line. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how the Albion think. He put stuff in place that he never know he'll live to see come to fruition. So what I'm saying with us is a group, even with this group of grandmasters, there should be some publications coming out of this group, either a collaboration or at least backed by the group. I mean, this is how you get things out for real. This is how you change things. These, books last forever. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of this stuff, it needs to be documented so people won't keep chasing this, going through this vicious cycle. Something has to be out there to intervene in this. And if we've been selfish saying it ain't for everybody, and it's not, it ain't yours, first of all. It ain't
Check this out. Let me say this to you. In African history, how was African history?
Excuse me?
How was African history told? Through a griot.
You know what a
griot is?
Well, you said African history. So African history was told on some bullshit.
No. In
Africa, it wasn't African history. African history is something the white man made up. When you talking about You said African history.
When you take history,
I'm dealing with etymology of words here, dude. That's what
okay,
I'm saying.
Wait,
hold on. We understand that in the so-called African culture, it was ear to ear. We understand that. But they also left something for you on the wall. So 10,000 years later, when that ear and that mouth wasn't there to go to your ear, you still had something to refer to. See what I'm saying? They still left it on the wall. They still left clues. They still left it there for you. Even though it's not ear to ear, because it's going to be a time where this is going to disappear and come back. And it needs something back to grab onto. And
they left it on the wall.
It shouldn't be Lester's. That's all.
I hear you. They left on the wall, outside the temple. When you walked into the temple, what you see on the wall was a whole nother story. And that was from mouth to ear. So when the initiates came out of that temple, they surpassed that wall. The wall is for the wall is like like elementary. So what I'm hearing is that, see, the ritual should be a private piece that everybody, and that's the issue. Folks should internalize that ritual to memory. This way it becomes instilled in you and you practice it. So in terms of the ritual, I hear the Grandmaster when he says you can't have it, because that's something that body of Masons took the time out to devise a ritual for their particular body that they particularly practice. That's private. And I say the same thing. It's how you interpret this craft. Every grand body should have their own ritual, because Duncan's, the Monitors, Lester's, no, that is not us. So it's not us. See what I'm saying? However, again, as I said earlier, what are we going to do to bring us into us?
That's all I was saying. I mean, we gotta have something. We gotta create something for us, or everybody's going to keep creating it for us. That's all I'm saying.
And
Well,
to the ritual, do you feel or believe that there should be a universal ritual specifically for us, with there being this group having their own version of a ritual, then that one having their own version of a ritual? Should it be just one universal ritual for all of us?
Well, no, I can't make that claim. I can't say it should be one universal ritual. But if you got something good, then I think it should be put out for another good brother to put his hands on it and extract from that. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying there should be one. I don't feel that all so-called black people are one people.
Okay.
So skin don't make you kin. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't think all nations should be together. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if we don't start putting out our own work, the only work we got to refer back to is the Albion's work.
Yeah.
And we can critique it.
let me ask you a question.
Work, but until we put out our own work, we have to start putting out our own work. It ain't just for us. Like I say, I'm talking about 30, 40 years down the line. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question. If I teach you something, if I show you something, and you replicate what I show you, how hard is it for you to show someone else?
Okay, but right, but that's what I'm saying is you're still only affecting a minute population. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you know what?
This
is not for everyone.
Okay,
no matter what we do, this ain't for everyone. It's not.
All right.
Let me give you a perfect example. You got a son, I got a son. Wait, hear me out. You got a son, I got a son. That's Uncle Ray and that's Uncle Ray. So now at the end of the day, when your son see me, he's gonna respect me as Uncle Ray, and my son's gonna see you as Uncle Ray. Mm-hmm. Now, somebody else's son ain't gonna listen. We cannot help every single person.
Right. But you can put out a book on the methodology that you use to raise your son. Now, whether people pick up on it,
I understand it, but that's not. It's not my obligation.
It is your obligation.
How so? Where to say that at?
Where it say it? See, that's what we.
I'm not. Let me put it like this. Everybody.
Listen. When you say where it said that, now you want me to point you back to a book. That's my point.
Right, because guess what? I do not.
That's what I'm saying. So until we start writing,
when I have a recipe of success,
you back to our own book that would tell you your obligations to every black man, not just a Mason. That's what my book was saying.
Let me ask you something.
That
when it comes to the ancient free Moorish right, should I write a book that a nigga like Jarvis could be a part of?
No, you can write a book whether he can pick up and read it, so it might change his life.
It doesn't matter. No, then fuck his life. That's his problem. He's been a piece of shit for the beginning. He ain't worthy. So now what you do is prove you're worthy. Just like telling you, when it comes to the ancient free Moorish right? There is one ritual that you will get. Everything else is after that is taught to you.
Right, and I agree with that. That's what the ancient Moors right. I'm talking about this thing of masonry that we're dealing with now.
But that's the other shit ain't even masonry no more because it's been watered down and filtered so fucking much that it doesn't matter anymore.
So why do we still do it?
Because we got nothing else.
Why do you still do it? Let me ask that question.
Because I'm still trying to build the Moorish right so I can get away from these
motherfuckers. Hey, as long as you got a plan, man, I'm with it. As long as you got a plan, like.
No, I mean me and you can go back and forth because at the end of the day, there'll never be nothing personal. No. But most of these cats can't take that. They can't take it. Like why? Let me ask you something. Why would I want a nigga that ain't been shit in this to be in that?
You're right. I mean, I understand your whole point, but I was just saying though, us as Masons or us as being highly esteemed as something more. You know what I mean? I think that we should be putting out work. I mean, if we listen to the story of so-called Africa that the white man was telling us, it took the John Henry Clark to come around and Dr. Ben to come around and put out their literature that gave us a whole different perspective on what it was. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Once we get something and become a knowledge of it, it's our duty to put that out there. And I think us as a group, that could be easier. Even if we put together like a bi-monthly newsletter, or online newsletter, or I mean something. You know what I'm saying? Just something tangible that we can put
see. Well, I would say more so if you had a conversation like this via this bi-monthly, but not no fucking piece of paper that the average bum ass can pick it up. I'm okay with this because guess what? We know here. We know. Oh shit, my phone done died.
I don't know who this R. Smith is that's been in here. I don't know who that is. I don't know. Hold up. Dre, is that Smitty?
Is that the car salesman?
I don't know. I didn't see this R. Smith. It's just no picture, no nothing. I don't know.
Right. I know it's.
Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now?
It's him.
I know it's Smitty.
I'm at
He's
work,
live
man. I'm at work. I ain't supposed to be talking on the phone. That's why I ain't got no mute on.
Oh, okay.
Nah.
I'm looking at R. Smith.
Always something.
Hold on, man. Hold on. I got you. Wait a minute. Let me so y'all can see me. Hold on, man. How you do this so you can see me, shit?
Man, you ain't supposed to be at work, man.
Right. You
Can you see me now?
We on.
Can you see me now?
Smitty.
Can you see me now? Hey, look.
There you go.
Hey, let me say this, man, because I got to get offline. I'm gonna keep listening, but I just want to say, man, Davis, great podcast, man. Great podcast, man. You got some great brothers on here. I see you. I see you, bro. How you doing? I ain't seen you in a minute.
Fellas,
if all the grandmasters on here, man, this is a great podcast, man. Keep it up, bro. But I'm gonna keep listening, but I gotta come offline.
All right.
Okay, bro.
fellas, what's going on?
What's up?
Chilling. Sorry I'm a little late. I just got off work.
Oh, that's cool, bro. We just in here hodgepodging. I think Edwards, I think his phone died, so he running around looking for a charger.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was calling him earlier because that's how I'm doing my classes now. So I was calling earlier to share my site with you guys so that we can all chime in together. So it was good that he got it.
Oh, okay.
So did I come at the tail end of it? Everything like y'all wrapping up now, or?
But no, we waiting on Edwards to get back on and shit. We just introduce yourself, brother.
Oh, brother Devin Lewis, how y'all doing?
All right. Where you hail from?
Oh, Masters of the Craft.
Okay.
What's up, Griff?
Hey, what's going on?
Who is it? Brother Fuller still on here? Yeah, I guess we can kind of wait to What's up, brother Doge? You been quiet, man. What's happening?
Being real quiet.
Parlay. I get in where I fit in. Gotta, when it's time for some correction, you call in the muscle. I ain't heard nothing that need to be corrected yet.
What's the Masonic environment down there in Charlotte?
Man, this is Bible Belt, man. It's Prince Hall down here. They keep calling me to say, when am I getting healed? I'm like, man, I ain't hurt.
You sick? You sick, brother?
I ain't sick. I ain't sick and shut in.
You need to get healed.
Right. So
Prince Hall or nothing at all.
Or nothing at all.
That's what they say.
Or nothing at all. But they don't want no smoke, boy. It's just like going to Chicago. Road trip down here. That's the only difference.
You not deciding to go over to switch over to PHA since they're the dominant lodge down there?
In fact, that may be the only lodge down here. I ain't seen no 4 letters. I ain't seen no international. I ain't seen nothing.
So would you consider joining Prince Hall?
I mean, at this point, they already, asked me to come over and take over some of their lodges. I ain't got nobody ready, though. I tried to get my junior warden ready. My senior warden don't want to work. This is my 10th term. I'm tired.
Damn.
I'm like, I didn't put in work, son. I'm good. I'm good.
And they did that already.
That's why I kind of feel back, man. I got tired of doing this all the time, man. It's like, that's a lot of work and a lot of time, man. It's not appreciated at the end of the day. I mean, you get a couple out of there, but the majority, nah, man.
Yeah, it's some work, boy. But that's the part I miss. I don't got the gang with me to go bang on these kids. Sonically go to different jurisdictions and bang on them. That stuff was too much fun for me. Now everybody like, it's not the time or place. Everybody's scared.
You used to do that?
What's up?
You used to do that?
Who I used to do that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Like
Chris Hall party international. It didn't matter. It didn't matter.
That's why you almost got jumped by the Sharps down in Cleveland.
I almost got jumped by the Sharks in backwards day.
And the post
like no smoke.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that. They're like, go get your boy Doze. He about to get jumped by the Sharps. I said, by the Sharps.
Shut the whole party down.
Mama Sharp on your ass.
I'm suspended. I'm like, hey, shut up. Fact, Lil Sharp was ready to fight Daddy. Lil Sharp was behind me. A
stripper!
Oh, don't go there about that boy mama, please.
So Lil Sharp was on my side. Big Sharp was about to get
He was a little discombobulated and he didn't know what side to choose.
He socked Lil Sharp though. Big Sharp socked him. He shut the fuck up.
Hey, so with that being said, what's everyone's opinion in regards to the sisters? Like, are they going in the right direction, or are they experiencing the same things similar that the brothers are experiencing?
Well, I can't speak for nobody's sisters, but where I came from, those sisters was, the leader was ratchet. She was a thief. She was underhanded. She was, what's her name? Vicky, what's Vicky's last name?
You said who now? You said what now?
Last name? I can't remember her fucking name.
Hey, go bust the shot. Hey, look, a ratchet sister ruins some brothers out here.
All the time.
That's brother full of her girl.
All the time. The sisters really tore up E.N.T. Grand Live. It was the sisters. It was the sisters. Yeah. Flat out.
I don't think all sisters are bad, conniving.
No, I ain't say all sisters. I said I only can speak from where I was at. And not all of those sisters, but the leadership was bad. You make that disclaimer.
And I can personally speak on elder sister by the name of Sister D. Berry. She was the Prince Hall sister that came over to Mount Sinai, and we worked shoulder to shoulder, and she enlightened me on a lot of things. And with that presiding Grand Master Turner, things kind of went south quickly. But I could say she was a good, solid sister. She didn't play no games. She went about no joking around and things like that. She was strictly business. She was straightforward in everything she did.
What Turner thief?
Man, he was the planet thief.
You said what?
I said, brother, Grandmaster Turner was beyond a thief.
Oh man, that guy has been the only grandmaster at that Grand Lodge for over 20 years. The Grand Lodge has been his major source of income for over 20 years.
He wrote it in the bylaws. Y'all can't fault that man for writing it in the bylaws.
He's the grandmaster for 20 years, man.
You got 10 more years to go. Hey. You got 10 more.
And this is just the first term.
Right. He gonna die and come back.
Bang.
In order to run, you must have at least served 20 years. So you can't even run if you didn't serve 20 years.
Right. I can say he Mount Sinai, he tore it up from the floor up on not just the brother side, but the sister side as well. I mean, I've literally had sisters pulling me to the side because he was on the little like, no, I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. He was in jail for some child support stuff at a elder age, and came back. You know, I'm running the whole show. When he stepped on the scene, one of the first things came out his mouth, "You got your money?" So that's gonna make anybody look at you kind of sideways, throw some flags up, like first of all, who are you? Because none of the sisters that have ever met you. Like, who are you? What you doing? Why are you asking me for money? Next thing I know, I'm getting a million phone calls while I'm at work. I had to pull over, like, yo, what's up? What's going on? You know, long story short, to fast forward, you know, one of the sisters, she worked for the local police departments and went in, you know, they was feeling kind of uneasy. So she went and pulled some records and asked would I come over to her house to meet with some sisters for a little meeting. And they want to share some things with me. Sure, fine. You know, I've always had an open door policies with the brothers and sisters. So I go over there and meet with them, and we're in their basement, we meeting, and you know, and they pull some paperwork out and say, like, what's up with this? Who is this? I read the paperwork like, whoa. I was like, hit way left field, hit with a bat and everything. And I actually had the documentation still upstairs. It was upstairs in my attic now. Proof of what was did, how it was did, when it was did, dates, everything. I'm talking about police records. And from at that point, everything quickly went down south. I had to make a decision, either stay and deal with it or leave. I stayed and deal with it as much as I could. I left, and then that's when me and Grandmaster Davis, we really started to chop it on the Masonic side. He didn't tell me, and we already had the conversation, but he didn't tell me exactly what to do. But what he did, he lightweight was kind of telling me what to do, but he was trying to educate me at the same time. And I will always respect that because he told me to go do this, do that, and I did it. And I was studying certain things for myself, and then applying it, talking to him, and applying it to the whole situation. It made me grow up real fast in masonry. I just put it like that, to where I had to grow up, stand my ground, stand on my square, and you know, pretty much just put my foot down on the whole situation. And I decided to go on to E.N.T Grand Lodge. Things didn't work out there because of some sisters. We just talked about some sisters. That kind of broke some things up. And then I went on to E.N.T Grand Lodge, and I moved down here to Lithonia, Georgia. But I experienced a lot at Mount Sinai, and we're talking about spilling money, and I'm looking at the paperwork, like, hold on, something ain't right. Like, why is we doing this, doing that, and the third? It got to the point where I called everybody up, brothers and sisters. So nobody paid no money to nobody. Don't nobody get no money to me. Don't nobody get no money to the secretary, to the treasurer, to the grand master. Don't nobody get no money. Give no money up. In fact, I ordered that monies that was in the account go back to its rightful owners.
That's crazy.
You know, there's a lot of things. You know, a lot of people know about some of the things that took place, but everybody don't. There's not one brother outside of that lodge or sister knows the full complete story like I do.
Didn't that Grandmaster call the police on you guys?
Oh yeah, he called the police on. EC police, East Cleveland police, they pulled up in droves. So he's about to get him and the Green Deputy about to get rat-a-tat-tat on. So they pulled up, like, wait a minute, hold on, y'all some Masons now, from my understanding. Not one of the police officers were Masons, but one of the police officers had a family member that was a Mason. And we had a little conversation out there, and he said, all right, come on, let's come on, bring your evidence, and my evidence prevailed. Grandmaster Turner evidence, it didn't carry no weight because all of his quote-unquote receipts were handwritten on a piece of paper and with his handwriting. Mine were authentic receipts from the bank. Deposits, withdrawals, rent paid, any money that went in or out of the lodge, I still have in my possession those receipts.
So there should be some kind of, I don't want to say policing of, I mean, because I know everybody is sovereign in their jurisdiction, but there's a lot of people getting taken advantage of financially in these jurisdictions.
A lot of people.
A lot of people, man, getting taken advantage of royally. Yeah. And there's no recourse for these people.
Right. You know, and I've tried to have some recourse taking place as much as I possibly could, but so I would say green in the game at the time. I didn't really understand a lot of things, but I did the best I could with the knowledge that I did have, and I still was slightly taken advantage of, so to speak. But you know, that situation, like I said, I grew up real fast in that situation, and I learned a lot. But I walked away from there with a bad taste in my mouth because that was something that I had put a lot of passion into, a lot of time into, a lot of love into, and a lot of my own hard-earned money out of my own pocket. You know, we talked about obligation, you know, earlier. I invested a lot of money out of my pocket into that lodge, Hyman Biff Lodge number 2, into the system to create it, starting from ground zero, not even having a piece of paper or pen when I created the lodge. So when I did that, and I had some great brothers in the lodge as well, and you know, it's a long story, but things went south real fast, and I walked away and it left a bad taste in my mouth. And then I went on to E.N.T Grand Lodge, and things didn't work out there. There with a bad taste in my mouth. So that's strike 1, strike 2. You know, how many times I'm gonna let you keep on? I'm gonna let that snake bite you. You know, so it came to a point in time to where I had a lot of other things going on at the time prior to me moving down south to Georgia. And when I got down here, I fell back. You know, I had to lean back onto my obligation, take care of home before I go out and roam. That's what my daddy told me. No matter what, take care of home before you go out and roam. So I got things pretty much in order here, and a lot of that was about because I, just getting down here, not knowing anybody but my wife, and just had to get the house in order, had to get the job, get the career back on track, get everything back in order. So now that I've pretty much done that, now I'm ready to get back into the order and want to do some things. I left the order at the time I did after coming down here with some things unaccomplished that I had set for myself to accomplish.
And brother, Grandmaster Ray had a good idea, man. If you guys want to do this like once a month, man, come on here and share in current events or advertise what's going on in your jurisdiction. How y'all dealing with this shed-in, the platform is always open to any of you guys. So, anytime we can, cause I want to do something around on this channel around Masonic at least every Wednesday. you know, some kind of discussion, have somebody, you know, on to speak. You know, hopefully I can get some Prince Hall brothers on here to give their demonstration on why we need to be healed. And, you know, I can get some international brothers on here. I can get some sisters on the platform, you know, discuss. So every Wednesday I'm gonna try to do, you know, do something around masonry. You know, for Brother Edwards, I want to share his rituals with nobody.
You ain't getting my ritual.
Hey, let me ask you this. In your ritual, does it say to be a Shriner, you got to put on the thong?
Yep.
I don't want you keep your ritual, bro. You keep.
Look. I don't care what you gonna say, but you gonna be a Copper Temple noble. You gonna put that dress on.
No,
Rayshana.
No. That ain't what we do. That ain't what nobles do.
They ain't nobles before they do that. They ignobles.
Nobles don't put on. Hold up. This is the thing I had about the whole shrine, where I went through that crazy initiation, right? Got beat on for basically no reason, because I never participated for real, because I didn't, the whole nasty noble thing, the whole potentate ball with the strippers in the room, I was never in agreement with that shit. To me, it was an oxymoron for you to be calling yourself a nasty noble, and for you to sit and, while I'm sitting in my first potentate ball with my wife at the time, and you marched 10 hookers in the potentate ball. You got 2 tables for them at the ball, and there's people that came from out of town that didn't have seats.
Yeah, I've seen that out there before.
Left the bag. I was like, man, what are y'all doing? So as I'm in that, so I said, you know what, you got to change stuff from the inside. So I did go on and join it after my protest of wearing a dress. I'm not doing that. I didn't do that. So, but it was that whole concept of being a noble and then acting like you act. To me, it was crazy. It's still crazy. It's still crazy.
Well, let me put it to you like this. When it comes to certain people and their perception of the nasty noble thing, I don't get along with it all. The point of the initiation with the dress is to teach a man how much a woman has to go through on a daily basis to be a woman for him. Now, whatever they take it and take it out of context, that's what the premise of the situation is.
But them same guys is the same guys that's bringing the strippers to the damn hotel with their wives downstairs.
But check this out.
They wear the dress. So what did wearing the dress teaching these people? It ain't teaching them nothing.
When I first time I came there, I'm gonna tell you, and Dre was there. Dre, you still on the phone?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm right here.
I remember I went there, and Rayshon, I'm gonna tell you straight in box. I was in that business. I met a guy. I met a girl. She was upstairs in the party doing her thing, and I said, I started to holler at her, and I said, "Yo, you know my man?" And she said, "Who?" I said, "He from out here. His name's Sugar Brown." So at that time, what's my man name? He used to have a house with the girls in it out there.
EQ.
EQ. He said, "You know Sugar Brown, Ray?" I said, "Hell yeah, I know Sugar Brown. That's my homie." He called Sugar Brown. Sugar Brown came out there, gave me $100, said, "Ray, I can't stay. Here's some money for drinks. So you have a good time. Enjoy Cleveland." I was messing with one of the girls on free. I ain't pay for nothing now. And your boy out there, the big punk nigga, got mad because he was in love with the broad. Who I'm talking about, Dre?
Sanders?
Yeah, the big punk, the one that quit the shrine.
You talking about Sanders?
Yeah. So now, what I'm saying to you was, when the shrine,
room that night. That happened in that room that night.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, the pretext that people put in under the shrine, like when they came for our situation, it wasn't like that. The whole thing is about initiation. It's a message that's being sent. Whatever happened in Ohio was an adaptation that they did. Because you didn't see that. Did we have any old strippers and old shit like that, Dre?
No, it was all just fellowship.
But you know,
Hell no.
hold up, and right, that happened in Ohio. But I'm gonna tell you this: the last potentate ball I attended, there was a female that attended that she wasn't a sister, nothing. She just knew me and Dre from the local watering hole, and so they used to support us. So they, because they came, and this girl was so deep that I literally had to stand guard on this girl all night because these motherfuckers was trying to get her. I'm talking about old men. I'm talking about grandmasters, past grandmasters. They was trying to violate this young lady. I literally had to stand guard physically all night to keep these dudes away from this girl.
I remember Dre took us to a club. Dre, what's that hole in the wall club you took us to?
The Honeydew.
The Honeydew. That's what he took it to.
What I'm talking about.
But we was in there having a good time. We was out there cooling. It wasn't like that with us. We went in there. Dre took us in there, said, these my boys from Jersey. People's buying us drinks. We had a good time.
No,
so all the other stuff, I don't know how they do it.
No,
I'm like I'm saying.
I say that to say that Ohio presents it, but brothers from around the country break their neck to get there to participate in it.
Because, bro, you got to understand, half of these dudes is weak in their own town. So they're going to try to sound like, dude, I don't care where I go. I'm going to put my shit on. I'm going to be the sharpest nigga in the room. I don't care if it's Chicago, New York, New Jersey. I don't care where it's going to be. I'm a contender. But these dudes, in their hometown, they ain't shit. When they go out of town, they trying to be something. And that's what it is.
Yeah, because I just don't, you know what I mean? I mean, brothers used to get mad at me, especially when I became Grandmaster. And that's one reason why I fell out of favor with a lot of brothers, because they used to always come and get me. And everybody go to Chicago, man. We got these sisters up there, and woo, woo, woo. And they asked about you and woo, woo. And I never go. I never participated in their whatever you want to call it. I never participated in it. So I was out of the clique. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in the circle no more. You know what I'm saying?
That's because Lakeisha wasn't playing that shit.
Hey, and I knew the first time I went with them niggas, they was gonna have it. They was gonna tell, be on tape. They was gonna. They was trying to itch me to, you know what I'm saying, to do something. And I never gave them the ammunition.
They was ready.
Never gave it to them. I mean, I never gave it to them.
I remember one time in the elevator in Chicago.
Let me unmute Abu in case you want to say something. You unmuted Abu.
I ran into a sister and she, got to trying to holler at him and she said, he said, "What's your name?" Creisha. He said, "Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm getting off on the 7th. I'm gonna go ahead and holler at y'all though."
Hey, yeah, I wasn't falling for it, man.
He thought she was trying to hit him with the Okie. The whole girl name really was Creisha.
I was cool. I wasn't falling for it. Brother Abu.
And hey, Ray Sean, the biggest clown y'all had was that nigga Chuck.
Indeed.
Chuck was a whole clown, bro.
I mean, we got some doozies over there in Enoch. Now, I don't know if Chuck take the crown.
I mean, no. Like I said, when what y'all talking about is something totally different because I don't know people on certain levels. You know what I'm saying? But I know this dude came out his way to be disrespectful with a lot of shit.
Hold up. When you say Chuck, there's a Chuck on the line here. You talking about him or what Chuck are you talking about?
The little fat faggot Chuck, fuck fake police ass nigga.
Oh, you talking about the past potentate?
Whatever, the one-tone wonder. How you gonna be a potentate? You ain't never sat in no position in the whole goddamn shit.
You can do anything in the land of Neverland, boy.
He said Neverland.
God damn.
Hey, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
Damn.
I remember Chuck told me,
Hey man,
I let you be worshipful master. That's why I didn't run. I said, nah, you was finna get whooped.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Brothers, because we bought it with our hands when everybody wasn't no none of that. Had some folks.
A lot of
hey, I'm gonna say this, and this is this time I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna keep it 100. Like I don't have nothing. Only person I really have an issue with that was from Enoch or whether they with him, I don't know no more, is Chuck and that nigga Sanders. Anybody else, I'm good with. Nobody has ever done anything disrespectful or wrong to me. But in order for us to move on and work, I'm like Cap, me and Cap, cool. I speak to Cap on occasion. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no issues with nobody, bro. I want to try to figure out some shit and try to make these things that y'all say, oh, why do you don't get these out? Because I'm not gonna get this shit out to everybody. There's no way I'm gonna take what Dr. Hazel worked so hard for and give it to a fuckboy. I'm not doing that. And if you can't respect that, then guess what? Fuck you. And I'm being for real. So if you want to be a part of something that makes sense, we're gonna give it and make it work and spend the rest of our lives trying to sell our shit to the other side of the world. But I'm not giving out shit to nobody. Too much been given out, bro. Too much.
You right.
Well, I know, brothers. The brother mentioned earlier about publication. There's something I've been working on for about 5 years now. Having published magazines in New York. In the very near soon, it would have actually showed up at our session in June, but we postponed that because of you all know what. But there will be coming up a periodical known as Square Business. It will be online. It will be hard copy as well. So we want to air out some of these issues that we're talking about, but mainly we want to teach. The shrine, when I came into the shrine, I was taught a different way. And I was taught that the nobles were the vanguards of the craft. And I was also taught the origin of the shrine and from whence it came. And if I just use the password in the shrine, then you would know where it came from. We talk about Ali, we talk about Zamzam, we talk about all that, we talk about that history there. So there are certain things that have been added into the shrine as those other folks have done, which has actually made it a playhouse for some. So each individual, each jurisdiction do what they do, but it goes back to the rituals. How do you perceive the ritual? Do you study the origin of from whence it came, the practitioners, and what's your energy on that vibe? So I got to sign out because I got a meeting with my warden. So Square Business, if you look at any of the earlier posters in Blue House Basics, I talked about a periodical. I talked about us building a building. And one of the things we need to do is wherever it's at, we need to construct our own concrete building.
Yes.
Period. Doesn't matter. It doesn't belong to any of us as grandmasters. We need to come together and build something because these folks have built libraries, they've built museums, all under the craft of Masonry. And they put their names on it. They signed it. You'll see the signs. It wasn't ABU. They signed it in their Masonic signature. We need a building. You know, so let's put that in our top hats and twirl it.
Writing it down so I won't forget it.
I'm writing it down as well.
Glad to have you in here. Like I say, you're welcome to come back anytime we come on here. You're welcome to join us. For sure.
I need to say one thing.
Wait. I need to get this on video. Hold up.
It's about you. It's about you, bro. It's about you. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
Hold on. You see, everybody has their way. Everybody has a style and what they represent. I told Grandmaster Edwards many times in writing and in person, he represents a natural, straightforward builder. He represents bringing us together. He's brought degrees together. He's brought, and this ain't giving this is what we're supposed to do. Edifying a man, straight up. And I tell him, I said, yo, bro, you said, step hard into your seat. You're a gatherer. You bring it together, period. Continue that, man. That's all I got to say.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong, man. Give them their flowers while they can smell them.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's why I got him on his show today. You know what I mean? give him his flowers. Let him have his
Hold
platform.
on, man. Hold on, man. You got me on, boy.
Go ahead.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna say this. Brother Abu Muhammad, you one of my officers. Brother Alfonso Griffin, you one of my officers, correct?
That's right.
Brother Son Ray L, Ray Sean Davis, are you gonna put them 9 members together for the ancient free Moorish right?
Hey, man, I kind of said I was gonna back away from all of that, man, but because it's the Moorish right, you know what I'm saying? I'll consider it. Yeah, I'll get some guys together. But these two guys, you know, they actually are in 2 different places, right? Which to me works an advantage. It's a disadvantage because I don't have them here with me, but it's an advantage because still there's 2 other opportunities. He's in Atlanta and he's in Charlotte. I'm in Cleveland. So right there.
Well, look. We can do your thing up there where you at. But we will be doing it in October in New Jersey. So both of them have enough heads up time to make plans to get to New Jersey and sell their vessel in New Jersey. Fair enough? The brother said he done straighten out everything. His wife might let him leave. His wife might let him go out of town for a day or 2. As long as he ain't going to Cleveland for the potentate ball.
Right.
And that other little roughneck, I don't know about that joker, man. We got to worry about him.
Don't worry about who.
We're going to call him Past Aggravating Master. That's him.
Hey, is there a date for that October in Jersey?
Yes, sir.
You got a date.
You ain't that tall. You ain't that tall. We can put you on a short flight.
We're gonna call him
Past Aggravating Master. That's it.
Oh, no.
Is there a date for that October in Jersey?
Yes, sir. Yeah. 7th and 8th.
You ain't that tall. We can put you on a short flight. Somebody playing YouTube. Somebody getting off looking at themselves. Yes, sir. 7th and 8th. Look at their YouTube on. They can mute their YouTube. Somebody Dave Fuller, that's you, man. Mute your YouTube. Yeah, there you go.
Fuller need to share some of that food.
I know, looking like a moose, like he just got out.
Hey man, I'm about to hang up, man. I'm about to get off. I just wanted to acknowledge some people on here I didn't do before.
There you go. That's past aggravating. That's past aggravating grandmaster right there.
What's going on, brother Ray? How you doing, man?
What's up, man? How you, bro?
You good, man. I'll be there in June. I'm gonna call you, let you know the particular day. But I'm coming by. Me and my wife come by ourselves. But I gotta come see you when I'm there. Okay.
All right. Peace and love.
Hey, I just wanted to say goodbye, man. I gotta go punch out with past Grandmaster Davis. I love you, man. Past Master Ike, what's happening, brother? Past Master Doe, what's going on? Past Master what's happening? And Past Master Fuller, what's happening? Y'all be good, man. I love all of y'all, man. Peace be with you.
Peace.
All right, back to some more
right.
Yeah, we gonna I can get some things together.
For the record, I told you.
Hey, Rashawn, I'll call you tomorrow, bro.
I'll get back.
Peace out, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming, man. Thank you for bringing me here.
Man, show anytime, man. Anytime you want to get some, if you like, man, fire it up, Ray. I got some shit on my mind. We'll fire it up and go live.
Right.
Let's go. Let's go. Don't fuck with Jarvis. Do not fuck with Jarvis. No Burris, no Jarvis, none of them niggas. They fucking terrible. Peace.
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 Ray, I told you the right ones get together. You gonna get back in.
Hey, Fuller, you down for the Morris right, man?
Yeah, he down. Hook him up.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to,
I don't know how to get off this shit. How y'all still on my shit?
I'm trying to find it myself. Oh, at the top, it says leave.
Hey, Fuller, you down for the Morris right, man?
Yeah, I'm down for it. Peace to the gods.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he down. Hook him up.
Dre?
No, that got nothing to do with God body. No, that has nothing to do with God body.
Dre.
Has nothing to do with the gods.
Dre, you down?
Yeah, I'm here.
You down?
Yeah, we gonna do it. We gonna do the do.
Dre, what's good, baby?
What's up with it, Akeem?
My God.
That nigga crazy, wow.
We damn sure
I'm
got
thinking that's a
something
pop
doing it.
shit tape. I'm thinking that's a straight Morris God statement.
I guess he muted himself. He knew he was about to say some stupid shit.
I got students in the morning to teach.
Would you teach them how to be an asshole?
Yeah, pretty much. Truck drivers, some shit. Teaching them how to drive, so y'all teaching them how to be assholes.
How you your classes are real full with all this going on right now?
Our classes we have virtual classes and only have like 10 to 12 at a time.
Oh, okay.
And then 4 of them go out on the road and only leave on the yard, so I'm under the numbers.
Sound like you underwater, man.
Right.
But the Doe said he ready to get back.
That's what it is.
Shoot, boy, you better believe I'm be pulling these FEMA loads next week.
Hey.
FEMA load.
Right. That's 10K a watt. Better believe I'm